Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW 3 battle for you today, and we are here at Friedland as we have 4 Russian corps facing off against 4 French corps. We have from left to right, we have Bagration defending on that left side there. We then have Dutorov, and then we have alongside him we have Konstantin here filling up the center line, and on this right flank here we have Gortachov here, but he's getting a little bit of support from Dutorov, it looks like, as well when it comes to cavalry. I don't know which French corps we have, but I'm going to guess from the amount of cav coming down this road right now, we may have a Murat on our hands here, as I can see a lot of French dragoons coming in to try and cause some havoc. So we'll see what happens. Those are forming up, and here comes a cav charge coming on in. Yeah, they're smashing on in into these musketeers, and that's kind of lucky in a way that the auto fire was left on there for the Russians, because they did manage to deal with that dragoon. I think if the auto fire was left off, the Streltsy would have been got, and the cavalry could have probably carried on into the musketeers behind. Unfortunately for the Streltsy, it did mean they got routed as well. But yeah, there you go. We have sort of the first assault from the French there, very just out of nowhere. They just came straight down the road and like, yeah, we're just going to go straight on in and just go after the Russians. We don't care if we don't really do any sort of real damage, it seemed. The next opportunity, I feel like we could go for these guns. They're not particularly well defended. These 10 powders here, I think they are howitzers, looking at the size of the gun. So yeah, these might be an opportunity to go for. We've got looks like more dragoons here going for them, and there are Russians as well. There you go. They are now battling each other, and I think they did get off one shot with the howitzers before the cavalry came in. It looks like that first dragoon might rout. The second one might hold okay, but yeah, it looks like we're going to see more cavalry now going into the musketeers. All-out assault from the French here into these Russians. They kind of went for it, the infantry, then kind of went into the cav. It seems like a bit of a cheeky move here. We've got more dragoons now going around the flank. They might go for a side charge into the musketeers here. There is more cav now. The dragoons of Dutorov shifting across. And there goes the cav. All the French coming on in. Very confusing for the, I feel like, for the neutral. Who is who, you know. The Russian dragoons in green, and also French dragoons in green. I don't really know why the French ever picked green. Blue, I feel like, would be more sensible, but apparently not. They're now just machine gunning down their own dragoons here at the St. Petersburg. It's a shame they're gone, because they're a pretty good cav unit. But I guess, yeah, this grenadier here wants to make sure that the cav for the French is routed. We see another cav charge here from the French. Looks like another dragoon coming in. Again, smashes into the Russians here. This is like the 1805, 1806 Russian sort of corps, and it'd be the same for the French, I imagine. And you can see here that the French are really strong in this period, smashing aside a lot of these Russian infantry units that were left out on the flank. And yeah, Murat, there is a Murat corps for this period, so I think that is the case. Looks like he's bringing a very dragoon-heavy corps instead of like the mass cuirassiers you can also bring. Good side charge, didn't get shot towards this cavalry unit came in. That will cause a lot of problems there for the musketeers as they battle there with their bayonets. But yes, if you're enjoying all things NTW3 and want to see some more Napoleonic action on the channel, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment show support. You can see more chaotic battles like this one is clearly going to be won, as the cav fighters just started a whole chaotic sort of link of events here. Looks like we've got the grenadiers of cav fighting against the cav. I mean, they're just pinning them in place, and more cav can come in and side charge them. They also now have infantry arriving. Seems there's a second French army here. It's 2 generals. So yeah, they're going to bring in infantry to try and combine here with the cav. And I imagine that this add a little army might for cav as well, just to add some morale. Own cav force, make a super sort of cav force here, made up of 2 armies. They're going to need it though, because the Russians do have a lot of cavalry. They've got a cuirassier here, Voynier Orden. I've never seen this cav unit used before. We've got lifeguard cuirassiers here as well. And we also have cavalier guards, so it's some really good cavalry here for the Russians. Some really super strong heavies. They're going to need them. I've yet to see any French heavies. We've got, oh, here we go, carabiniers. This is a heavy cav unit. And here we go, actually, a cuirassier charge now coming in. So here's another heavy cav unit. For the French. This is going to go in. Are the Russians going to respond with their own cuirassiers? It seems like that's a no. They're going into the musketeers with the French pretty effectively. yeah, this was a replay sent in by a member of my Discord. So if you ever want to send in any of your own replays to have a feature on the channel, to show off your own Napoleonic abilities, then feel free to send it to my Discord. Link down below in the description of this video. It's the best place to send them in, as always. And even if you want to just get involved in some NTW3 battles or streams, we do plenty of those as well on the server as well. The best place again to go to join that server. That link in the description. Looks like the Dragoons here want to chase down the cuirassiers. It's a ballsy move here from the French, and it did not pay off. They've been routed. Looks like we've got some grenadiers here forming square, trying to side shot the French. You can see, yeah, lots of musketeers here trying to push back the cav, and really they should just pull back this cuirassier. Get out of here. It's not worth staying here in prolonged melee. It's not working for them at all. Got Cavalry Guard now going in on this far flank, and they're going in against the Carabiniers. And they're going to defeat the Carabiniers by the looks of it. They're not in their final form at this point. And later on in the Napoleonic Wars, they're in gold cuirassiers, and they have look a lot more heavy. Right now, they've got a cool bear skin to wear on that head to keep themselves warm. Yes, we see here Dragoons battling together. Looks like the Russians are going to win that fight there. And yeah, the cuirassiers actually did manage to win. Wow, sorry, the Carabiniers managed to win that. They routed the Cavalry Guard. Still healthy as well, 48 out of 85. I'm disappointed by the Cavalry Guard. Maybe some of these other musketeers routing through them has caused them to rout. Lifeguard cuirassiers going in, though, should finish the job here, I would have thought, for the Russians. And we've still got more French cav amassing in the rear lines here. Looks like more Dragoons being shifted this way. Looks like the remains of this cuirassier was pretty bad after his fight with the musketeers. It looks like it's going to need a bit of time to recharge or reevaluate. French infantry here, though, is doing a pretty good job. You know, combining with the French cav, if you can do a bit more of that, it has a good chance of victory here. Lifeguard cuirassiers going in. They're going in against like Chasseur Cheval and also Dragoons. They should win this fight. I would have thought the quality of the cav for the Russians is just too much. This Lifeguard cuirassier, yeah, winning. If they can, this cav over here might need to fight this Dragoon. This has been kind of idle. They're getting a charge off now, the Dragoons of Moscow. Kind of charge, didn't really. It looks like they're going to lose that fight because of that. There you go. Now whether the Dragoons here of France can recharge the Lifeguards here, that might give them a bit of a chance of winning that one. I mean, they've already routed one French cav. They might get a second one here. Yeah, there you go. They managed to rout that one as well. The Lifeguards just are super strong. Super strong. What's we rallied there? Some another Dragoon unit by the looks of it. They just need to get some infantry up, I think, to the French. Just rear shoot this I was going to call it a Cavalry Guard, but it's not. Just this cuirassier here. Looks like this Dragoons managed to hold it in place fairly well. We also might see the French cuirassiers here go in. It's just been non-stop as this battle from the start, really. And just on this flank, the Russians and the French here are now looking at each other, just standing here. They're not standing looking at each other. They're just standing there, looking, doing nothing. They get here quite happy here just to probably shoot it out if they have to. They've probably got better reloading stats. And there you go, yeah, the French are now getting a column of infantry just to shoot the backs of these cuirassiers. It's doing a little bit of damage. Not masses though, they need to be careful not to shoot their own cuirassiers as well. So yeah, it looks like redlining a bit here are the French losing out a bit. What are they fighting? Musketeers at the moment. It's like, yeah, what we've seen has been shifted over here now. Grenadiers of Moscow and the St. Petersburg Grenadiers. These are good units here. So yeah, they're throwing over some more elites. This is Bagration sending these guys over. So yeah, really not giving up on this flank here, the Russians. And you've got the cuirassiers on the other flank here now going in, and they're going to try and do some damage. The French units that are engaging the musketeers here. Need to be careful of the Russians if they're shooting the back of their own men. That's a pretty decent grenadier as well that the PopeJohnPaul has there. We've seen more cav going in, more Dragoons going in trying to deal with the cuirassiers here. Looks like they're going to force them back. Looks like this PopeJohnPaul cuirassier does not want to get caught out. And it could be at the moment. The French are still winning these infantry fights at the moment. The Lifeguards are gone. Looks like the combination of infantry and cavalry from the French has just finally got rid of it. 14 riders left before they fell back. So you've got the Grenadiers of Moscow going in now. Can these elite Grenadiers of Russia keep back the French? It's been literally a battle to the death, this flank here. So much cav has been sacrificed and risked. We've got Musketeers going in, French again going in. actually a good bait there by the Russians. They managed to bait this Dragoon in. They've squared up, shot in the side, and they've gone in against the cuirassier, and it definitely did not end well. And now, can the cuirassier flank around and hit these French units in the back? Do some good damage here. I mean, he's tired. He's going to be tough. There you go. He's throwing the dice. Going in. Red line him pretty quickly. Might rout his own Russians here, though, as well. It's a risk. There you go. The Russian cav has managed to rout those 2 French units. Can he get the next one? And maybe just, wrap up this French infantry here. Looks like the St. Petersburg Grenadiers as well, trying to hold on here. They didn't form square. Bizarrely, they didn't form square. They could have. And then a rear charge from the Chasseur Cheval here. That might finish them off. And it's a elite Grenadier here, getting beaten by 2 mid-tier cav units, really, at best. I mean, that is the power of cav, though, in NTW3. You give it a chance and get a good rear charge. You can rout the whole lot if you want to. Looks like France is going to somehow pull this infantry out of melee. I don't know if you really can do that. I don't know if that's a rule that you're allowed to do, but it might be. It looks like we're going to see more Dragoons going in here in a moment. They look like they're going to try and take out the French ones. But it looks like this flanking fight here is kind of dying off now. Both sides, kind of have used up most of their resources. France still has the cuirassier alive. It's just here. So the heavy cav is still here available. And Russia still has one of its cuirassiers alive, but I think that is it. The cavalry guard might return. We have got some infantry already returning here, it looks like, as well. And what's this back here? Dragoons. Yeah, the cavalry guard has returned. It's back here, 45 out of 85. I thought it might. It is too elite to be lost that early. It looks like the fight is now kind of shifting over to this flank over here now. Got a horse artillery right up on the front line here, trying to blast away, trying to do some damage. And if I was the French, I'd maybe try and focus on this area over here. Don't know whether you can cross over here. Might be able to, I think, cross here. If the Russians can, that's okay. But if not, they could just get themselves trapped in this little peninsula here by the French. They're not too careful. Looks like we might see a sneaky little cav charge here in a moment. Maybe go for this, this militia unit. It's an easy kill for the French there. Nice and easy. Whether they can now get in behind with this chasseur and just sort of like block off any sort of retreat, that would be a smart little move, but it looks like they're not interested in that. Russia's going to send across a little Ulan over there to try and, rectify the problem. And it looks like, it looks like a line fight would be, the Strelky are never going to win a line fight. It looks like it's up against the Grenadier, by the looks of it. It's a big unit. Yeah, Grenadiers today. See the bearskins in action. It'd be kind of cool, I feel like, in a weird way, to have like a drummer boy instead. He's like an actual guy. You should have like a drummer boy instead. They would, and like have like guys with pipes as well. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if like every nation uses it, but like the Brits did. It's kind of cool to have like a pipe player singing a good tune. Skirmishes over here, just dueling away, trying to chip away at the Russians. A lot of damage. Look at the dead Russians here. There's a lot of dead Russians. That's a lot. I mean, it doesn't seem like they've done any sort of damage to the French here at all, really. So yeah, that's not so great. Like I said, the French, with the Laguerre and generally this period as well for the French, pretty good in a line fight and also in melee. So they can do either or, can the French. The Russians feel like they're going to prefer a melee fight if they're going to choose one or the other. Line fight, they haven't really got a great amount of like good shooting units. I've seen a lot of musketeers, no sort of like Jaeger, like light infantry. So that's going to be a problem for the Russians. Just standing like this and just trying to duel it out with the French. French like infantry numbers here is definitely less, but like I said, they can do just about everything. They can either melee or they can shoot. So they're very handy units to have. And it looks like as well the French also managed to get more artillery to the front lines. Just got this one horse artillery here for the Russians. So the French got a horse artillery of their own up here, which is shooting away at the Russians. They also bring forward a good amount of foot artillery here, a good battery. I might need to move forward though, because I see that the Russians are hiding because of the dip in the land. So they need to be careful that they need to bring it forward, but they might need to be careful because otherwise they get charged by Russian melee charge. You never know. It seems though, this definitely seems like a workable flank to work with here. Just get rid of these 6 units of infantry. We've got a lot of militia here, and some infantry units can't form square, and just the one Ulan. Definitely could be a flank the French could work with. Just kind of tie down or even force back the flank, which they're doing themselves. The Russians are tucking in. It looks like they're going to try and shorten their line. Should allow the French here just to swing in and just deal with this Russian units here. But it looks like Bagration's giving a general retreat. Maybe he knows you can cross there. And yeah, he's like tucking in with the rest of his units here, allowing these couple of units to defend the river line. Yeah, Russia is falling back. I think they've retreated everything that they had over here. They wouldn't say exactly lost this fight. I don't think anyone won this fight. Both Russia and France just lost so many resources here. And neither of them really gained anything from it. Russia's just got to defend Friedland. That's all he's got to do. And it looks like, yeah, they're going to just, you know, defend the river crossings. They've got some guard artillery here, I've seen. 12-pounders. They're fancy uniform. Constantine, yeah, he's the man in charge of the guards. Usually, it seems like he's brought many, just the artillery, it seems today. And he's just shelling away, just dueling with the horse artillery over there by the looks of it. There's not really anything else to shoot at. Not much left. Yeah, the Russians are turtling up, I think, because they are worried about this French line fight. They're winning slightly in some areas, but losing at most. Looking at the number of dead Russians compared to the French, they're definitely losing the line fight. Glorious, glorious one, it really is. It really brings the epicness of sort of like of the scale of the Napoleonic period just to life. It really does. Awesome. But yes, it could be a problem for the Russians if they clump up too much. Certainly if they clump up in Friedland, because if a couple of units break from a good French charge, it could cause them to what have they got here? What's that? Oh, the Cav managed to rout up the musketeer here, and now they're going in for the horse artillery. They might get it. Saab by looks of it, yeah. They've failed to get it, but they have made it no longer a horse artillery piece. That's something I guess at least. But yeah, basically the French, if they get one good melee charge off and a couple of units of the Russians start to rout, it could cause the Russians to mass rout, because it's kind of how it works. You know, one unit routes, just like upset the ones around it, and then it causes a chain event. So if you're all clumped up in the town here, that could be the case, and what happens, they don't want to give up too much ground to the Russians. There's still a lot of resources left, like enough resources to have at least 2 lines of infantry, and extra by the looks of it. Still more units back here. So yeah, they need to be careful about clumping up. Whether they want to pull back and try and use these 12-pounders, try and get them into the fight, or they could just stand their ground here and just get the 12-pounders to come up. And just start blasting away. I feel like they could do that as well. Because they want to they've still got a decent amount of cav. They've got a couple of dragoons and the cuirassiers here in the cavalry guard. They've still got more cav, it seems, in the French left. So they want to try and maybe stay in the open. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they feel like they can just melee the French in the town, which they could probably do. They fought the French out here in the open already. Got pretty mauled up. I would have said they held their own pretty well. But maybe they feel like in the town they've got a better chance with the defences. You could put units in these buildings here and make it really painful, like put a grenadier or something in there. Really make it tough for the French to take these buildings. We'll see. I mean, the French, yeah, are mounting, like bringing their artillery up, and they're really like going to plonk them in these front lines and start blasting away at the Russians. And the Russians, yeah, can see it, and they're going to just fall back, it seems. So, yeah, it seems like there's the pattern of play that's going to happen right now. The Russians are going to, well, the French are going to move up their artillery, and the Russians are going to keep giving ground and retreat on Friedland by the looks of it. So we'll see what happens. Whether the Russians stay here. I mean, they don't want to get caught out. It seems like their left flank is retreating quicker than the rest of the line. There's also this artillery that you might want to keep in mind. I'm actually maybe not. There's literally 2 crew members left. I don't think they can operate the gun with just 2 crew members. So yeah, they actually might be pretty useless at this point. Again, like I said, you need to keep in mind with the cav, whether they want to send it out round somewhere else and flank around. The cuirassiers are over here for the French. Are they going to sneak in around the back and try and get in behind Friedland? There's a couple of generals here. Gorbachev. There's a dragoon here as well. Bunch in the back. But they need to be careful. Be careful. The Russians. They don't want to just get taken out by one cuirassier charge in the back. That would be embarrassing. They're pretty tiny, feeble unit of cuirassiers as well. Yeah, it looks like Russia is going to call a general retreat, and Friedland is going to be where the battle is going to be decided, in the streets of Friedland. I mean, the French don't have a lot of infantry. This is pretty much the infantry that's left. There's a little section over here, but they've still got to deal with the Russians. If the Russians, once they can just retreat across the river, which is what they do by the looks of it, the like more professional infantry is going across, the militia staying on this side of the river for now. If they want to, they could just, you know, line up around here and just start to blast the French as they come across. And looks like we've got a little Ulan over here that's going off into the forest, going to get itself hidden. Maybe just, you know, stay there and make itself a nuisance in late game. Yeah, I don't know if I get any more of these guys across. If the French can move quickly, they can probably get these militia units here, while the musketeers are also crossing the river and can't support them. Yeah, here we go. Looks like the militia's going to go now. Now or never, boys. Now or never. The motherland depends on you men of Russia. Fight and hold the line. Failure will mean execution. Or to the gulag. Well, they don't have gulags at this point, but I like the idea of a Napoleonic gulag. They're kind of cool. Not for the guys in it, though. I just want to say. I don't know if they have, like, they don't really have prisoner of war camps at this point, so yeah, it wouldn't really be a thing. But yes, the French coming forward here now. Still, you know, healthy in numbers when it comes to their grenadier units. I mean, they've got at least one here. I think that might be another grenadier. No, that's definitely not. It's quite easy to tell. They've got like really bold, like French, like red epaulets. They don't have another one. Might just be the one grenadier. Obviously, the guys with the bearskins are a dead giveaway, but usually maybe it's either. I mean, most of their infantry can melee pretty well anyway, so you don't need to have loads of grenadiers. Yeah, I don't think any of these are either. No, maybe just the one. Maybe it's just the one, the grenadier. Here we go, Russia is setting up. He's going to try and use these guns. It seems his 12-pounders are sort of like bastion. It's sort of like main defense. He's trying to defend around it. We are going to see a French cap charge here. Nothing countering the French cap. He's going to let the cap go in and deal with these 12-pounders. Seems like a little bit of a waste. I mean, it could have worked as a strategy, you know, just, but it looks like they're just going to let the guns die. These units here are wavering. Might cause the other units around them to waver, we'll see. Squares have scared off the cab. Yeah, the grenadiers are on the road, so they'll get extra speed as well if they charge down here and they lead the way. We also see horse artillery get put right in the face of the Russians here. Really good use of horse artillery. Going to just wheel it up and start blasting right into the Russian side. So many Russians still in this village. Like I said, this could be a real problem. The Russians can't use all of them. They're gonna have to like scatter them around and try and get angles with them to like just try and make it a real pain for the French. It'll be difficult. Well, the French still have a pretty healthy casualty back here. What is this? Cheval. Not so great. Got some infantry as well returning on this side that can, you know, flank the Russians if they want to. There's a lot of units are starting to waver. Moskova's gone. Got the Schusselberg here. Pretty sure that's a big chief unit that's routed. Joined in the route there, and another unit breaking there, the Vladimir. It actually looks like Migration sending more troops in this direction. I think, yeah, it looks like most of the militia might have got routed in the retreat there. That's unfortunate, getting shot as they try and cross this river. It looks like yeah, the professional units are going to fall back. So yeah, the French kind of succeeded in their objective. They need to just get across now before the Russians get these extra troops here and make it a real pain for the French to cross. There you go, the French going in, charging the Moskva. Oh, kind of fimming there a little bit, need to be careful not to do that. It looks like they're going to carry on with these hussars. Getting into the squares, kind of fimming a little there. And there you go, they're going to fall back. POV, you're a Russian soldier, this is what you can see. There's a lot of La Guerre ahead of you. A lot of La Guerre. Cuirassiers are sniffing around, looking for an opportunity to go for something. Again, the Russians just give him more ground, all in back. France is getting ready. It looks like now, I mean, soon it's going to be melee time. They won't be able to do much more than that. This Grenadier unit is still looking very healthy. They need to keep this intact, or sort of like the Cuirassiers, keep them in sort of good nick. They are shooting them. They're trying to cross the river with the Musketeers, Sofia and Ryazan, trying to blast their way across. And here we go, melee charge going in. Grenadiers have gone in, they're going for some Musketeers here with the Russians. And in there goes La Guerre as well, and the Cuirassiers are combining. And yeah, there you go. 1, 2 units already breaking. The third gone for the Russians. Constantine's units here just being swept aside. He's got some more Musketeers here as well, trying to hold on. You have to be careful. I think the Cuirassiers actually maybe just went in for a little dip in, and that was it. And he's now just being absolutely swamped now. It's wants to start. So eventually, with the Grenadiers and La Guerre. But yeah, they're going to be upset. You can see casualties sustained. Also, I think they go to break. Also, not happy that like a lot of their units are breaking. You can see here the Litvia, which is concerned about certain French routing. They need to be careful. It's just like it can cause a bit of a mass rout, these units here, and they'll retreat really slowly and get mixed up in the oncoming fights, and that'll upset the Russians. So fighting in this town is going to be risky. It's going to be messy. They're going to have to try and do some damage to the French here, maybe use some cav and try and, side charge. I think we're going to see some here. The PopeJohnPaul is going to get sent in. Here we go, side charge from them, going into the French infantry here. Squares not happen, if they were possible. Maybe a counter charge from the Russian infantry here could also, that's going to help them out. Given the orders for one. Yeah, there you go. A good old combination like cavalry and infantry 1-2 there might slow down the French. They are orange lining, maybe red lining a little bit here, but yeah, actually they might have some success in this one. Yeah, there you go, routing some of the French infantry here. That might just slow down the French's aspirations on this left flank here when it comes to the town. But the PopeJohnPaul was also, I think it might have been used once already. It looked pretty battered. Might have already routed once. Yeah, down to 30 right and left. That is not staying around, and looks like the Russian infantry also giving ground. It looks like it's trying to run away from some French infantry here. Don't know if they're having much joy. And it looks like we're going to see more French infantry and the Cuirassiers moving up straight up the middle of the road here. And the Russian Cuirassiers are also going to match them in the middle of the road. We're going to see Grenadiers here. These are some pretty decent ones as well, which we've got access to the Karins. Napoleon? Slabs? I don't know if that's how you say it. Definitely probably not how you say it. This is a Grenadier, And it looks like, with the Cuirassiers are sort of going in. Be careful of the side of the water going in. Keep battling away, boys. Hacking and slashing those Grenadiers. Musketeers here, Moscow form square. In come the Cuirassiers for Russia. They're going to try and shoot the French ones. It looks like they've beaten one of the Russian infantry there. The French Grenadiers carrying on, going into the Russian infantry here. The right flank for France needs to now push forward really quickly, try and get some of these other Musketeers, and just sweep aside this flank here, because they're already kind of being tied down by the Grenadiers. But they might be sorted out for them. They're routing in the red lining. But the Russians there you go, easy stuff. Back on this flank over here, what is going on? Oh, the Russians have actually pushed back the French. Didn't see what happened, but it looks like, yeah, they pushed them back, the Musketeers of Laval here. But yeah, they pushed across. Looks like also we had Cav support here. The Dragoons of Pskov. It looks like some of the militia re-rallied as well. So yeah, they've done a good job there. They've actually managed to rally. It's about 4 or 5, like 4 French line infantry units here. There's still some Voltigeurs, but they're not going to do too much damage. That's a bit of a win there for the Russians. France, though, is slowly but surely starting to overwhelm the Russians there in the town. These Musketeers kind of been left there to die. In melee with Grenadiers, the Leguer here can just set up and blast inside. It's the Musketeers. There's only 50 of them left. It's a good unit. And they're now gone. On this right flank here for the Russians, left flank for the French. More units here wavering and breaking. Ivan has fled, like a coward. Yeah, there's only like the Musketeers of Murom here now defending this flank really. We also have Gortachov here. Don't think he's going to be being sent in though. Yeah, as you can see the Musketeers of Murom combatant friends routing. Not good. Or concerned friends routing, I should say. It's not combatant. It's combatant winning slightly. Yeah, they're going to go in. I imagine the French should win. They've not actually got many of their own routing. Shouldn't really affect them. I think this strategy defending Friedland is not paying off for the Russians here. I think they might be in a bit of trouble. We are now seeing the Dragoons of Pskov coming back this way. More troops here that have been at the river returning, and also I think these are re-rally troops as well. All coming back. Building has now been captured. So yeah, the Russians with the Musketeers of Viborg are occupying this house here. I think it's the only occupiable house in Friedland, weirdly enough. We're also seeing French Grenadiers going in. So it looks like, yeah, the French are going to try at the same time as the Russians are going into occupying the building. The French are also going in. So it's a bit of a foot race to see who could get in there first. And the Russians did win, but I don't know if they'll win the actual melee fight. The Grenadiers have proved themselves to be worthy warriors in today's battle. It's all got some chasseurs cheval here. We've got a lot of artillery moving up here. There's some foot artillery and also the horse artillery of the French. Yeah, it's become a massive battery here, and this is going to start blasting away. It looks like into the side of this house, and also just into any sort of side combats that the Russians have on this side of the river. So that's probably been why they've been losing fights as well, being side-shotted by artillery. The Musketeer unit going in here trying to sort of slow down the French Grenadiers. That might, give themselves a bit of a chance with these Musketeers here. Look like they are losing this fight, really. Musketeers, Hengist. And yeah, there you go. They've been routed, fortunately, and it looks like the Viborg ones are not going to be holding too much longer either. Russia is also trying to push across the bridge here. The French are waiting for them now. They can just start blasting as soon as the Russians come over. And they're 1 by 1, really, 2 by 2 up there. Not a great way to try and take this point. You're going to need a really strong unit to do it. These ones are the bellows. Not going to do it. The militia routed. Definitely trying to support from across the other side of the river, though, might be a solution. The Russians have got a couple of units here doing exactly that. Grenadiers of Moscow in here. Still a Grenadier unit. That's good. Pretty good unit for the team. Drag it again. Gracia's coming in again. There's not really going to be much. Kind of side or rear charging from Leguer here. Leguer has actually routed these Grenadiers of Moscow, but that's a surprise. Fighting the Musketeers of Perm here. Still fighting for that house, it looks like. I don't think they've lost it yet. There you go, they've now lost that building. There you go. The French, I think it's the Grenadiers, might be in there. I don't know really what unit's in there. It's a line infantry of some sort. They are now seeing the Constantine sending in some more units, it looks like. Another Musketeer of Viborg going in. And we've got Chasseur Cheval They look like they're going to go across the river here, and it looks like they're going to just... I mean, it looks like they might farm a whole bunch of Russians here in a moment. There is also re-rallying Russians, which might be what they're concerned about, just allowing these Russians to re-rally on the far side of the river here. Russia is shifting across whatever reserves he had by this river, trying to get them back across. France still has one line infantry, it might be a re-rallied one, and some Voltigeurs there, just causing themselves to be a pest. We still have, oh no, the cavalry guard's broken. Didn't even realise, I don't know when it went in. It must have gone in this melee fight here. It's been lost. It has been lost. Friedland might be lost as well. Like, when we look at it, Friedland is not looking good now. The blue beam, the coalition, is a lot less blue pips than there are red pips for the French. Okay, it's not looking good. I think they are now holding the building. I think the Russian counter-assault did get defeated. I don't really know what's left. What's in here? We've got, oh, Konstantin Romanov's got in. So, yeah, he's actually thrown in general. And I think that might be Konstantin out of units. I think, yeah, he just kind of went in and just like, well, I'm done. Done today. And there you go. That's one of the generals gone for the Russians. And now the cav here can continue and get these... They'll scare off those guys. Oh. Yeah, these are all routing Russians. Queuing, like, excuse me, can we cross the bridge? After you, sir. No, after you. They are kind of pulling through there, the French cavalry, pulling through a square. And they're trying to get Gortychov, actually, who's actually routed himself. So it's another general gone for the Russians. That is not good. We are seeing a counter charge here from the cuirassiers, so they're getting rid of a little skirmisher unit there, just removing that. So they still have one cuirassier alive. The Russians, they managed to hold on, but they're pretty much gone at this point, are the Russians. I'm going to fast forward a little bit just so we can get through, because I think the Russians might be defeated. The French are looking pretty strong. They hold most of the town. I mean, the Russian main forces are on this side of the river. The artillery battery is also forming up over here now. The horse artillery is going to just form up and start blasting the Russians across the river. Keep them that side by the looks of it. And yeah, I mean, the Russians have got to try and recross these rivers where the French are guarding them now, these bridges. It's going to be tough. I don't know if Friedland had this many bridges. Pretty incredible the amount of like access points there are to this town. A lot of bridges. Yeah, it looks like the Krasny is like the last hope and joy for the Russians. I think the French still have theirs. Maybe not, actually. The French might have lost theirs as well, actually. At some point in this battle. They haven't got much left. A couple of units of line infantry here. A general and a cuirassier. Looks like Gortychov actually re-rallied. And he's with a few of the Russian infantry units across the river here. Looks like also, yeah, some French units now crossing. So they've they can encircle if they want to. Duterov's here as well. Trying to hold on with his couple of units left that remain of his core. He's getting absolutely blasted right now by cannons. It's kind of rough to watch. Yeah, there you go. They're getting hit hard. There you go, yeah, redlining. They might, if one hit here, it might rout them. And there you go, they did rout one there. This one might just rout, I imagine, from just like seeing his other unit routing around them. We'll see. But yeah, it looks like it's pretty much over. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on what these cuirassiers are going to do, if anything. We'll just go back to fast forwarding a bit more. Yeah, there you go, the flanking units over there, rout. We're just waiting here to see what the these remaining units in the town are going to do. They are getting shot, and there you go. Looks like the cuirassiers might go in. They might get these French units here. See, oh, they're red lined. Yeah, it's a pretty good volley as they went in. It's a unfortunate wrong timing, and there's actually chasseurs waiting this side of the river for the French. And they did farm a bit by the looks of it, and then they're just kind of going to wait here and just make sure anything else that comes over stays dead. And yeah, the Russians going in with their infantry. It's going in like one at a time. So even though they outnumber the French, not really getting the full effect, I feel. More infantry here, going in, they're kind of pinning them down. The French can side shot them, yeah, if they want to, they can side shoot at the moment. There you go, pretty nasty shots into the side of the Russians there, routing Bagration's units here. I honestly felt like the Russians had it. I felt like that first fight here, they did a good job against killing so much French cav. The Russians, they killed off like a lot of like Carabineers, Cuirassiers, Dragoons, got rid of a lot. Took a few obviously infantry losses and a few cav losses themselves, but you know, did a reasonably good job. And I felt like over here they could have held their ground against the French. They had the cav and and I felt like the infantry to kind of turn this fight around, but maybe not. There's still artillery over here just waiting. The French had a lot of artillery, more than the Russians by far. They lost that one howitzer right at the beginning, and then the horse artillery, and then they had the guard guns, and that was it. They did not have a lot of artillery in this one. Another general dead for the Russians, and I think that might be it. I can't see anything else left for the Russians. They look like they've got I don't know. Oh, it's like a one infantry unit here. The Schusselberger refuses to break. And there you go, another general gone. And yeah, we're just kind of waiting now for that final sort of final unit just to break. I think it's just broken from its friends around it going. And there you go, a defeat for the Russians. Hopefully I put up the end results for you to have a look at. It certainly was a close one. I thought that they were going to win this one after that initial fight on this flank here, which is absolutely chaotic. Absolutely chaotic. But yeah, they did not, unfortunately. Hopefully I put up, like I said, the end results. You can have a look at those. Sent in by Johnny Le Buffoon, who was playing as Constantine's Corps. So he's playing as the Russians in this one. I'll have a quick look at his unit stats. So he got 91 kills with one of his Viborg musketeers, the best there. His guard artillery getting 63 is kind of concerning when that did so well. It didn't feel like it really did a lot. The Cavalry Guard getting just shy of 50 kills. But yeah, not massive kills for him today, unfortunately. So yeah, hope you can see the rest of the kills there and see how everyone else did. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show support. And yeah, feel free to join the Discord if you haven't already to get involved in some Napoleonic action. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.